Secrets of the first train from urban legends to reality. Top 3 mysterious events on the first train. 1. The vanishing passenger.
In the quiet of early morning, a lone passenger boarded the first train, selecting a window seat from which he intently watched the passing landscape as the train approached the next station. The other few passengers noticed that the man had inexplicably disappeared, despite no stops and the doors remaining closed. There was no sign of him, his sudden absence enveloped in an unsettling silence. The mystery of his vanishing act, with no logical explanation, and no witnesses to any unusual activity, has puzzled both authorities and ghost hunters alike, leaving many to speculate about supernatural forces at work on the early morning train.
2. A glimpse into another dimension.
During a routine journey on the first train, passengers suddenly found themselves peering out at an alien landscape where familiar cityscapes should have been, a sprawling vista of otherworldly grasslands and menacing forests sprawled before their eyes. The surreal scenery persisted, making the passengers question their reality as dread slowly crept into their hearts. It wasn't until the train darted into a tunnel and emerged back into normalcy that the eerie vision ceased. Those who witnessed this anomaly were left to wonder if they had briefly crossed into another dimension, a possibility that haunted them long after the journey ended.
3. The passenger from the future.
An unsettling air filled the first train one morning, linked to an enigmatic passenger clad in a futuristic uniform, unrecognized by any of the regular commuters. The mysterious individual rode in silence, exiting the train at the next station without a word. This incident remained a curious anecdote among the passengers until, years later, a revelation emerged that the uniform matched that of a railway company founded much later. This sparked wild theories about time travel and dimensional slips, leaving everyone who had encountered the passenger wondering if they had brushed shoulders with someone from the not-so-distant future.
Top 3 unknown urban legends of the first train. 1. The wish-granting ride.
In a quaint, remote town, an enigmatic urban legend surrounds the first train of the morning. It is said that if you board this train for the first time and make a wish as it departs, that wish will inexorably come true. Over the years, locals have whispered stories of miraculous promotions and unexpected lottery victories attributed to this mystical journey. However, every boon comes with a sinister twist. Securing one's heart's desire inevitably leads to the loss of something equally precious. This macabre cost weaves a tale of caution, yet the allure of tempting fate continues to draw the daring souls who wish to challenge the boundaries of this haunted legend.
2. The Phantom Station.
Cloaked in the shadows of urban myth, the first train reportedly stops intermittently at a ghost station, a place not found on any map, bearing no name but known to those who dare to explore the unknown. This station, appearing out of the mist, offers a one-way journey to a realm from which no passenger has returned. Sparse accounts from those who claim to have seen the station describe a chilling scene of desolation and eerie silence, where time seems to stand still. Despite the danger, the mystery of whether this station truly exists continues to intrigue the most intrepid adventurers, ready to gamble their existence for a glimpse of the supernatural.
3. The Silent Bell.
Among the darker tales of the first train is the legend of the Silent Bell, Regulars tell of a specific carriage where, on ominously quiet mornings, the departure bell fails to ring. In its haunting silence, an air of dread settles over the passengers, as the absence of the bell is said to be an omen of misfortune. Throughout the day, those who experience the silent bell report a series of unexplained misfortunes, casting a shadow of foreboding over their lives. This sinister phenomenon fuels a legacy of fear and fascination, making it one of the most spoken about mysteries among the regular denizens of the dawn train.
Top 3 astonishing phenomena seen only on the first train. 1. The glowing apparition.
In the dim early hours, passengers of the first train sometimes witness a glowing figure walking along the tracks through the window. This figure radiates a pale, bluish-white light and vanishes abruptly when stared at intently. Often sighted in the same location, it is rumored to be linked to a tragic event from the past. However, the true nature of this apparition remains unknown, and witnesses invariably keep their encounters shrouded in silence, adding a layer of mystery and unspoken dread to their tales.
2. The phantom announcements.
At certain stations served by the first train, disembodied announcements echo through the empty concourses at dawn. These announcements, often uttering incomprehensible words, seem as if messages from another realm, chilling the early morning silence. This phenomenon occurs only at specific times, making it an eerie experience exclusive to early riders, who report feeling a surreal presence, as though they are listening to whispers bridging different worlds.
3. The backward ticking clock.
Inside the first train, there exists a clock that occasionally runs backward. During such instances, the surrounding air grows noticeably cooler, filling passengers with a sense of impending dread. As the clock returns to normal, so does the atmosphere inside the train. But the interlude leaves a lingering impression akin to a fleeting dream, blurring the lines between reality and illusion. This mysterious reversal of time continues to be spoken of as a peculiar anomaly associated only with the early morning voyages of the first train.
Top 3 bizarre experiences on the first train. 1. The disappeared station.
One chilly morning, a regular commuter faced a surreal experience on the first train. As the train approached his usual stop, he realized with a jolt of panic that the doors remained closed and the station had inexplicably disappeared. Outside the window stretched an alien landscape he had never seen before. Confused and alarmed, he questioned the conductor, who chillingly asserted that such a station had never existed. Shaken deeply by the encounter, he made it to the next station, but has since avoided that line, haunted by the phantom stop that seemed swallowed by the morning mist.
2. Sudden fog inside the train.
On what started as a typical commute on the first train, passengers were abruptly engulfed by a mysterious, thin fog. Initially unnoticed, the fog thickened rapidly, obscuring visibility and cloaking the entire carriage in a dense, unsettling mist. The air grew cold and tense as passengers sat frozen, enveloped in the creeping fog that seemed to whisper secrets of the unknown. As suddenly as it appeared, the fog dissipated, leaving the carriage exactly as it had been, as if the eerie episode was merely a collective hallucination. Yet no one dared to speak of it afterward.
3. A night at an unknown station.
During a weary early morning ride, a man dozing off on the first train awakened to find himself at a desolate, unnamed station. The train had stopped in a ghostly, quiet, seemingly forgotten part of the world. With no one else in sight and a heavy silence surrounding him, he ventured out into the unknown station, feeling the weight of solitude and timelessness pressing upon him. After an unnerving wait in the eerie stillness, he boarded the next train, which took him back to familiar grounds. The enigmatic nature of that station, lost in the shadows of the dawn, remains an unresolved whisper in his life.
Top 3 terrifying incidents led by the first train. 1. The carriage that vanished into darkness.
On one eerie morning aboard the first train, passengers in the lead carriage faced an unexpected horror as all the lights abruptly went out. With the dawn yet to break, the carriage was plunged into complete darkness. Frantically, the passengers used their phone lights to guide one another, but strangely, all attempts to communicate with the conductor's room failed. Upon arriving at the next station, it was reported that the entire previous carriage had vanished without a trace, though no official report has ever confirmed this. The terror-stricken passengers have since avoided that route, haunted by the memory of the disappearing carriage.
2. The silent broadcast.
As passengers settled into their morning commute on the first train, the intercom suddenly crackled to life. Instead of announcements, however, the speakers emitted a series of unintelligible whispers and static noises. The passengers exchanged nervous glances, trapped in the unsettling soundscape with no escape. The whispering noises seemed to echo around them, growing closer as if something was approaching. The broadcast ceased only when the train reached the next station, but the chilling experience lingered with the passengers, none of whom wished to ever set foot on that train again.
3. The anomaly of time.
One morning, passengers on the first train experienced a terrifying distortion of time. What should have been a 10-minute journey to the next station felt like it lasted over an hour, despite time seemingly progressing on their watches. A growing sense of desperation engulfed the passengers. When the train finally reached the station, both the train's clock and the passengers' watches showed the correct time, as if nothing had happened. This eerie calm did nothing to ease the passengers' nerves. Later, those who shared this bizarre experience gathered to confirm the unnerving alteration of time they had collectively endured.
Top 3 mysterious figures of the first train. 1. The silent old man.
On the first train, passengers often speak of an eerie old man who sits silently in the same seat every day, gazing out the window without engaging with anyone. His presence is marked by a profound quiet that seems to envelope his corner of the carriage. One curious young man once tried to converse with him, but received only a chilling, silent stare in return. Within days of this unnerving encounter, the young man developed a mysterious illness that left him incapacitated, and he vowed never to set foot on the train again. The old man's identity and the reasons for his silent vigils remain unknown, fueling whispers and fears among the regular commuters, who continue to report his unsettling presence.
2. The girl in white.
The first train is also haunted by the legend of a ghostly young girl dressed all in white, known to appear in the same seat, staring blankly ahead. Passengers who have spotted her describe a sudden chill when they attempt to approach, and she invariably disappears without a trace. as though she were never there at all. Several attempts to photograph her have resulted only in images of an empty seat, deepening the mystery surrounding her. Those who have witnessed her presence often report a string of bad luck afterwards, leading to speculation that she might be a harbinger of misfortune or a lost soul trapped in a perpetual loop on the train.
3. The Screaming Man.
Another haunting figure associated with the first train is known as the Screaming Man, frequently observed at the train's terminal station. He materializes as the train pulls into the station, running along the platform. While emitting loud, unintelligible screams, his presence sends waves of anxiety through the passengers, instilling a deep sense of dread that dissuades them from disembarking. Attempts to decipher his shouts or follow him have all failed, as he seems to vanish into thin air the moment he is out of sight. The mystery of the Screaming Man continues to perplex and frighten those who witness his spectral appearances, leaving many to wonder about the tormented story behind his cries.
Top 3 Paranormal Encounters on the First Train. 1. The Invisible Passenger.
Many passengers on the first train have reported the unsettling sensation of feeling an invisible presence next to them. This phenomenon occurs when an empty seat suddenly becomes warm and appears to sag under an unseen weight. A commuter once turned to address this invisible occupant, only to find the seat visibly indented as though someone had just stood up. Moments after this eerie encounter, the passenger was seized by a profound chill that developed into a lingering illness. This experience left him and others deeply unnerved, speculating about the spectral passenger, whose presence is felt but never seen, casting a shadow of dread over their daily commute.
2. The Mysterious Shadow in the Window.
On the first train, a disturbing occurrence often reported by passengers involves seeing inexplicable shadows in the train windows. These shadows appear human-like and seem to stand just behind the observer. But when passengers turn to look, there is never anyone there. The shadows are particularly vivid and persistent in long tunnels, where the lighting casts grim silhouettes. The sudden disappearance of these shadows leaves passengers engulfed in anxiety, with a chilling suspicion that something otherworldly is at play. This ghostly apparition contributes to a haunting atmosphere, making the tunnel passages a time of dread and apprehension for those on board.
3. The Echoing Laughter of a Child.
One of the most eerie phenomena on the first train is the sound of a child's laughter, emanating from seemingly empty carriages. This laughter, bright yet unsettling, cuts through the silence of the early morning rides, causing unease among the passengers. The laughter often sounds as if it is moving closer, creating an atmosphere of terror that compels many to disembark at the earliest opportunity. Despite investigations, the source of this laughter has never been identified, leaving it as a haunting enigma. Those who have experienced it continue to be troubled by the memory, puzzled whether it was a figment of their imagination or a visitation from another realm.
Top 3 Unsolved Mysteries on the First Train. 1. The Vanishing Commuter.
On an ordinary early morning, a routine commute turned into a baffling mystery when a man vanished after boarding the first train. Surveillance footage confirmed his entry onto the train, but no further evidence of his presence was found thereafter. His belongings remained on his seat, abandoned as if he had simply evaporated into the air. An extensive search by authorities yielded no clues, and none of the other passengers reported seeing anything unusual. The man's sudden disappearance remains an unsolved enigma, haunting those who knew him and echoing as a chilling reminder of the unexplained on the early morning route.
2. The mysterious death on board.
The quiet of an early morning train ride was shattered when a passenger was discovered lifeless, sparking a complex investigation. No visible signs of harm were apparent, and an autopsy failed to uncover a definitive cause, leaving authorities puzzled. The scene bore signs of the passenger's distress. His clenched fists suggested he had gripped something tightly in his final moments, though whatever he held was never found. This peculiar death, seemingly of natural causes, yet under such mysterious circumstances, remains unsolved, casting a shadow over the safety and normalcy of the first train's daily journey.
3. The disappearing carriage.
In a perplexing incident that continues to confound experts, the last carriage of a first train inexplicably vanished as it neared the station. The carriage, fully occupied at the time, never reached its destination. Emergency services and railway officials launched a thorough investigation, scouring the tracks and surrounding area, but no trace of the carriage or its passengers was ever found. The disappearance remains one of the most mystifying events in the history of the railway, leaving families and officials grappling with the possibility of a sudden, inexplicable loss amidst routine travel.
Top 3 urban legends of the first train unveiled. 1. The recurring dream.
An urban legend claims that passengers on the first train are haunted by a recurring dream. In this dream, they always sit in the same seat, view the same landscape outside the window, and are approached by the same person, who whispers the same words before disappearing. What makes this dream more than mere subconscious play is that those who have experienced it reportedly encounter this person in real life and subsequently suffer misfortune. Whether this legend represents a form of precognitive dreaming or a manifestation of deep-seated anxieties remains a profound mystery, deepening the intrigue around this phenomenon.
2. The haunted carriage mystery.
There's a persistent urban legend about a haunted carriage on the first train, where ghosts appear consistently during certain trips. This carriage is rumored to have been the site of a catastrophic accident, resulting in many deaths, leaving restless spirits wandering. Despite these tales, the railway company consistently denies any such accident occurred. Nevertheless, numerous passengers claim that riding in this carriage causes unexplained illnesses, perpetuating the legend and shrouding the true nature of these ghostly sightings in darkness.
3. The zone where time stops.
A particularly eerie urban legend speaks of a specific segment along the first train's route where time seemingly halts. Passengers entering this zone report experiencing a suspension of time, with all sounds and movements ceasing momentarily, creating an unsettling stillness. Once they leave this zone, time resumes as though nothing unusual had occurred. The cause of this phenomenon remains unexplained, speculated to be due to geomagnetic forces or an unknown type of energy, yet it has never been scientifically investigated, leaving it an enigmatic tale among the lore of the first train.
Top 3 bizarre experiences unique to the first train. 1. The unmanned start.
One of the most peculiar experiences reported on the first train involves it starting its journey without a visible driver. On a particular morning, a passenger glanced into the driver's cab, only to find it empty. As the startled passengers attempted to investigate, the doors abruptly shut and the train departed. Anxiety and tension filled the carriage, as the journey to the next station felt interminably long. Upon arrival, the driver was found nonchalantly in the cab, as if nothing unusual had occurred. This left the passengers bewildered, questioning whether the event was real or a figment of their collective imagination, with a lingering sense of dread.
2. The passengers with the same face.
A passenger on the first train reported an unsettling experience, where every person in the carriage appeared to have the same face, initially dismissed as a hallucination due to fatigue. The certainty grew as he observed everyone dressed identically, mirroring each other's movements as if reflected in a vast array of mirrors. Unable to endure the terror, he disembarked at the next station and found himself unable to board a train for a long time afterward. This bizarre occurrence, corroborated by similar accounts from other witnesses, deepens the mystery, leaving more questions than answers.
3. The mysterious, otherworldly music.
One of the most enchanting, yet unsettling experiences reported on the first train is the occurrence of mysterious music that seems to come from nowhere. This melody, which defies classification into any existing music genre, sounds as if it has drifted into this world from another dimension. Passengers describe the music as hauntingly beautiful, enveloping the train in a surreal ambience that makes the flow of time seem to pause. Each note resonates with an eerie clarity that captivates yet unnerves the listeners. As suddenly as it begins, the music fades, leaving the atmosphere to snap back to normal. Despite numerous investigations, no one has been able to pinpoint the source of this otherworldly melody, making it a lingering enigma of the first train's journey. This mystical experience, shared among bewildered commuters, continues to be a topic of both fascination and speculative dread.
Thank you for watching till the end.